Hello, this is Dan Arth, and for the next half hour, I will be reading from the January 29th, 2026 issue of the Buffalo Rocket on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Article, Hours Expand to Assist Travelers Applying for U.S. Passports. To better serve Erie County travelers and working families, Erie County Clerk Michael P. Kearns has announced expanded evening hours at the Clerk's Outreach Center for U.S. passport applicants. During the month of February, the Clerk's Outreach Center will be open until 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, in addition to its regularly scheduled extended hours on Thursdays until 7 p.m. The Clerk's Outreach Center is conveniently located right next door to the Erie County Auto Bureau at Southgate Plaza, 1086B Union Road, West Seneca, New York, 14224. The Wednesday extended hours will take place from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the following dates: February 4th, February 11th, February 18th, and February 25th. These additional hours are designed to assist first-time passport applicants, as well as those looking to renew a passport book or passport card, particularly for residents and families who are unable to visit during normal business hours. If demand remains high, extended Wednesday hours may continue alongside Thursdays. No appointment is required. Applications and additional forms are available, and passport photos can be taken on site for a $10 fee, making the Outreach Center a convenient one-stop location for passport services. With cruise and international travel demand remaining high, we want to make it as easy as possible for Erie County residents to obtain their passports, said Erie County Clerk Michael P. Kearns. Expanding our evening hours in February provides added flexibility for working families and travelers preparing for the upcoming spring travel season, he said. Residents are encouraged to apply early and allow sufficient processing time prior to any scheduled travel. Currently, passport process can take 4 to 6 weeks, but expedited service, 2 to 3 weeks, is available for urgent traveler with an additional fee of $60. For more information on passport requirements, processing times, and outreach center services, visit sorry about that. Visit erie.gov/clerk or contact the Erie County Clerk's Outreach Center at 716-858-8864. Again, for more information on passport requirements, processing times, and outreach center services, visit erie.gov/clerk or contact the Erie County Clerk's Outreach Center at 716-858-8864. Article, Orchids After Dark returns. The Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens welcomes visitors to enjoy a flower-filled event like never before during their orchid exhibit and Orchids After Dark. Visitors will enjoy over 2,000 orchids of all colors, shapes, and sizes, an exciting tropical escape in this winter. The orchid exhibit will be open daily from now through March 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The exhibit will also be open in the evening with special lighting during Orchids After Dark on select nights and during several other special events. Orchids After Dark is open on January 22nd to 24th, January 29th, 31st, February 6th through 7th, February 13th through 15th, 17th, 19th through 21, and February 26th through 28th, and March 5th through March 7th from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The exhibit will close out with a special event, Orchid Fest, in partnership with the Niagara Frontier Orchid Society, where an additional several hundred exotic and award-winning orchids will be added to the show. The orchid exhibit will dazzle visitors like never before, with over 2,000 stunning orchids and quadruple the number of blooms. There are incredible sights to see at every corner. The exhibit is made up of several different varieties, colors, shapes, and sizes of orchids. They are arranged in incredible displays using several different methods of hanging and wrapping. Visitors will not only enjoy the warmth and the views, but will also learn about the intricacies of orchid structures and their features. New this year will be an outstanding mobile hanging from the center of the iconic Palm Dome. Another special feature includes the Kokedama orchid displays. Kokedama is the Japanese word for moss ball and refers to the practices of planting orchids and other types of plants in a sphere of soil and moss. These floating orbs take on a new design this year and are sure to amaze returning and new visitors. Those interested in Kokedama can learn how to create their own custom Kokedama during the Orchid Kokedama Workshop on March 14th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Again, that's on March 14th. Another exciting feature of the orchid exhibit is the inclusion of watercolor orchids. These unusually colored orchids have been manipulated by horticulturists and growers to produce uniquely colored flowers. These striking hues of teal, green, purple, peach, and multicolor are nothing like the colors that would be found naturally in the wild. To create this effect, colored dye is carefully injected into the stem of a white flowering orchid. The dye is a special water-based formula that does not harm the orchids. The dye gradually makes its way through the stem to the flower, and new colors will appear on the bloom. The flowers will retain the dye through the end of their current bloom cycle. These whimsical orchids are incredibly saturated and are strikingly different from the average orchid. Visitors can enjoy the exhibit day or night, with select evenings of the Orchids After Dark exhibit on display. Thousands of twinkling lights will bathe the orchid displays in brilliant colors and light. The lighting effects create a whole new experience with different visuals, shadows, highlights, and spotlights that change the perception of the plant collections. Organizers recommend seeing the exhibit both during the day and at night for two incredible experiences. Orchids After Dark makes for a great night out with family, friends, or a date night, and is also a great opportunity for photographers. Photographers should review the photography policies listed on the Botanical Gardens website. To make the most of the Orchids After Dark exhibit, visitors can also partake in special events like their popular Mini Glow golf events, Silent Disco, Love is Love Night, and Orchid Fest. These special events take place at night and also include admission to the Orchids After Dark exhibit. The Botanical Gardens will be bringing back their popular Love Week celebration with lots of opportunities to celebrate love. The orchid exhibit will also be open during the day for Orchids After Dark on Valentine's Day for those looking for a special date idea. As a grand finale to the orchid exhibit, visitors are invited to enjoy the annual Orchid Fest, a weekend where the Botanical Gardens and Niagara Frontier Orchid Society join forces for an orchid extravaganza. The Niagara Frontier Orchid Society will bring hundreds of exotic and award-winning orchids to nearly double the size of the orchid exhibit. Special displays will be added for visitors to enjoy throughout the entire conservatory. Orchid vendors and experts will also be on site during the Orchid Fest to talk about their specialized orchids and sell products for aspiring orchid growers and orchid lovers. Tickets can be pre-purchased online for all exhibits and events at buffalogardens.com. The orchid exhibit is open daily from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets are $19 for adults, $17 for students and seniors. That's 62 plus for seniors, $9.50 for kids ages 3 to 12, and kids 2 and under and Botanical Gardens members are free but must have a ticket. Orchids After Dark is open select nights from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., and tickets are $20 for adults, $18 for students and seniors 62 plus, $10 for kids, and ages 3 to 12 and kids 2 and under are free. Botanical Gardens members save 50% on all admission prices to Orchids After Dark. Orchids After Dark is supported by National Grid. A letter to Rusty. Am I entitled to more Social Security as a veteran? Dear Rusty, I served in the U.S. Army from July 64 to July 67. Am I eligible for a higher Social Security payment? Thank you. Signed, Vietnam-era Army vet. Dear Army vet, please accept my sincere thanks for your military service. I believe you are referring to the Special Extra Credit for Military Service, which has been the subject of many published articles. That refers to a special Social Security accommodation available only to those who served in the military during specific periods of time, but it does not add to your monthly Social Security payment. Rather, it adds to your military earnings record for the years you served, which may or may not result in a higher Social Security benefit when you later claim Social Security. So here's how it works in your specific case. Serving between 1964 and 1967, if you told Social Security of your military service when you applied for Social Security benefits, or gave them a copy of your DD-214, they would have added up to $1,200 per year to your military pay record. FYI, those who served after 1966 were automatically given earnings credit for their military service years. However, whether those special extra credits would affect your monthly Social Security benefits depends on your lifetime earnings record when you later claim Social Security. When you applied for benefits, Social Security reviewed your lifetime earnings and used the highest earning 35 years of earnings over your lifetime, adjusted for inflation, to calculate your PIA, or primary insurance amount, which is what you get when you claim benefits to start at your Social Security full retirement age. If after your military service you had 35 or more years of earnings, which were higher than your earnings while serving in the military, Social Security would have used your later higher earning years to calculate your benefits, and your military earnings would not have had an effect on your Social Security benefit. However, if any of your military earnings, including the special extra credits, were among the highest over your lifetime, then those military earnings would be included when calculating your Social Security benefit. So, whether you would benefit from the special extra credits for military service depends largely on your earnings history after you were discharged from active duty. If your military earnings were among the highest earnings years over your lifetime, and you provided Social Security Administration with a copy of your DD 214, when you applied for Social Security, then your Social Security benefit also includes consideration of your military service. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Buffalo Rocket on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. So FYI, Social Security should have asked about your military service when you applied. If you did not tell Social Security about your military service when you applied for Social Security, or if you aren't sure, you should contact the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213. That's 1-800-772-1213, and ask if you were given those special extra credits for military service for your 1960s military service years when you applied for Social Security. But if you had at least 35 years of higher earnings after you left military service, your current Social Security benefit is already based on those later higher earning years, and you will not get any additional Social Security benefit because of the special extra credits for your military service years. This article is intended for information purposes only and does not represent legal or financial advice. It presents the opinions and interpretations of the AMAC Foundation staff, trained and accredited by the NSSA, National Social Security Association. NSSA and the AMAC Foundation and its staff are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government entity. To submit a question, visit our website, amacfoundation.org/programs/Social Security advisory, or email us at ssadvi-sor@amacfoundation.org. Article: The Grapevine. Short articles. Afternoon Drive host WEBR AM 1440 and FM 105.3 is one of Buffalo's most iconic radio stations. We are celebrating our 100th anniversary in 2024 and would like you to join our family. We are currently looking for an afternoon drive host to be on air from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Bring your energy and ability to relate to our listeners. Experience preferred, but we'll consider someone who is willing to learn and take direction. College radio would be a big plus. Great support with local ownership. Have fun, be yourself, and grow at the same time. Please email a recent air check to Tony Veneroli, Program Director, WEBR AM 1440, FM 105.3. Email address is ajthedj104@hotmail.com. Phone is 716-481-8836. Shays Performing Arts Center announced registration is now open for Sing Your Story, a camp for students ages 10 to 17, running during the February school break. Through a song of their choice, students in this camp will explore their unique life experiences to create a personal monologue and sing their story. Under the guidance of Shay's lead teaching artist, Alejandro Gomez, participants will develop their own ideas, lighting, and costumes, culminating in a one-of-a-kind performance where they are the star. Sing Your Story concludes with a community showcase on the Shea Smith Theater stage, celebrating each student's creativity and voice. The week-long camp will run from February 16th through the 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Space is limited. The cost of the camp is $250 for the week, with assistance available to those in need. To register, go to www.shays.org camps/sing-your-story. M&T Bank presents Third Thursdays at the Buffalo Zoo. Third Thursdays at the Buffalo Zoo will continue for 2 Thursdays in 2026, February 19th and March 19th. To participate, guests will need to reserve their free tickets online before arriving at the zoo. Tickets can be reserved at mtb.com/third, THIRD, Thursdays. There will be a limit of 10 tickets per group, with timed ticket entries still available between 10 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. While tickets are honored all day, visitors are asked to arrive at the time they signed up for. Special programming on November 20th will feature several zookeeper talks, including 11 a.m., Snow Leopard Keeper Talk at the Vanishing Animals, North Exhibit 12 p.m., Tawny, Frogmouth, and Wallaby Keeper Talk at the Echo Station exhibit at 2 p.m., Bison Keeper Talk at the Bison exhibit at current members of the zoo. Talk at the Bison exhibit. Current members of the zoo are always admitted, even in the event of a third Thursday sellout. Please note that rides, concessions, and parking are not included in the free admission. As the Buffalo Zoo marks its 150th anniversary this year, the M&T Bank Presents Third Thursdays at the Buffalo Zoo program adds to the zoo's ongoing celebrations, which are taking place through December 2025. M&T is a long-time partner of the Buffalo Zoo and remains the lead sponsor of the M&T Bank Rainforest Falls exhibit. To learn more about the Buffalo Zoo and its latest special events, visit buffalozoo.org. Reunion for all years of nativity of the BVM School on Albany Street in Buffalo will be held July 12th from noon to 5 p.m. at Buffalo River Grove, formerly Fontana's Grove, 2299 Clinton Street, Buffalo, New York, 14227. Reservations are a must. RSVP by June 30th to Rosie Mendolora at 716-881-1306. That's 716-881-1306. Article: Michael P. Kearns, Erie County Clerk, guest columnist. Snowmobilers to renew their sled registration in Erie County. Erie County Clerk Michael P. Kearns wants to remind snowmobilers to register their sleds locally through the Erie County Auto Bureau. This is an effort to keep vital revenues right here in Erie County. Riders can renew by mail or in person at any Auto Bureau branch. Due to higher than normal volume, reservations are strongly encouraged and can be made easily online at erie.gov/clerk/auto bureau or by calling the clerk's outreach hotline at 716-858-8864. That's 716-858-8864. Same or next day appointments are currently available at all Erie County locations. To renew your snowmobile registration, riders need to complete and mail in their renewal notice, a photocopy of existing snowmobile registration, and a copy of the registrant's New York State driver license. Snowmobile club members need to also include proof of membership in a New York State Snowmobile Association, NYSSA Snowmobile Club. Mail all documents to Erie County Clerk's Office, 92 Franklin Street, Suite 1, Buffalo, New York, 14202, including a check made payable to Erie County Clerk. Your snowmobile registration will be mailed back to you within 10 business days upon receipt of renewal request. To renew in person, be sure to bring all required documents to the Auto Bureau to receive your sled's registration. Members of the New York State Snowmobile Association, NYSSA, or a local NYSSA affiliated snowmobile club will receive a $55 discount on all snowmobile registrations. Non-members will pay the full registration cost of $135. Snowmobilers are encouraged to contact the NYSSA at nysnowmobiler.com for information on joining local clubs and to obtain your registration voucher. All but $10 of each registration fee goes to the Snowmobile Trail Development and Maintenance Fund, which supports 10,500 miles of public snowmobile trails across New York State and maintained by over 230 clubs. Snowmobilers must always carry registration and proof of insurance documents while snowmobiling. Riders must produce the documents at the request of any law enforcement officers or magistrate. Riders also must produce insurance documentation at the request of anyone who is injured or suffers property damage because of operating a snowmobile. Holders of snowmobile safety certificates must also carry the certificate when they are snowmobiling. Erie County Clerk Michael Kearns also reminds snowmobilers it is illegal to operate a snowmobile while impaired by drugs or alcohol, and drivers and passengers must wear helmets on the state snowmobile trail system. The Erie County Federation of Snowmobile Clubs have set the official open date as January 2nd, 2024 for trails in the southern hunting zone, as well as all Erie County parks with designated trails pending sufficient snow cover and conditions. Riders are encouraged to check with their local clubs to ensure trails have been opened and to obtain the latest information on snowmobiling safety courses. For more information on snowmobile registrations, contact the Clerk's Outreach Hotline at 716-858-8864, 716-858-8864, or submit a request at www.clerkhelp.erie.gov. Additional snowmobile and trailer registration information and forms can also be obtained on the clerk's website under the Auto Bureau tab at erie.gov/clerk. And you've been listening to a reading of articles and features from the January 29th, 2026 issue of the Buffalo Rocket. We read from the Buffalo Rocket every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And your reader today has been Dan Arth. Thank you for listening.
Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, or any questions you may have. Our phone number here is area code 821-5555. As always, please stay with us. Our Rainbow News is coming up in just a moment, and feel free to contact us with any comments, suggestions, any questions you may have.